Hello, besties. Thank you for joining and for your patience with me getting this episode out a day after the part 3 of the reunion. I have a really fun guest that y'all gave me the greatest feedback when I had her on last time. Emily Hanks of She Speaks Bravo, but now she's also speaking it all. Congratulations again. She's expanded her podcast. Very exciting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to have you here. I literally said, you know what? That episode was so fun.
I was honored.
I said, you got to do part 3 with me. It has to be you.
I was so honored that you had me come back. I had so much fun.
So much fun. And you are willing to put up with the incredibly long, detailed notes. The notes, my friends, that's what takes all the time.
It does. That's why I was a little late yesterday. I was like, I need more time.
It's like half transcribing, half trying to remember your thoughts. And it gets
totally
like, right, I got to have some original thoughts thrown in there.
Totally.
It is not a one-woman performance happening here.
It's totally true.
Okay. Should we just jump into it? I mean, we talked a little bit about this for a second. I was at a watch party here in Denver, which also shout out to Mile High Spirits. And I think this is something you'll be able to relate to. I had not yet really ever met anyone who listened to my podcast, who listened to me drone on. And there were fun people I got to meet in person. And it was such a delight and so good for the soul because sometimes doesn't it kind of feel like you're screaming into the void?
Yeah, all the time. When you do solo pods, you're like, I'm just talking to myself. That's literally all I'm doing.
Is anyone out there?
It's just, totally.
It's a weird feeling. And so it was just so wonderful getting to meet some of them. And at this watch party, whenever they said, tune in next week for Secrets Revealed, it was a mix of cheers and collective groans. I was like, you sons of bitches. Why are you doing this? I need a break. But yeah. I'm also like, yes. But how are you feeling about the Secrets Revealed coming up?
Well,
how much more did they reveal?
I knew that it was coming, so I had a little prep. So I had it on my calendar already. Oh, sorry, my cat is going nuts.
It's fine.
So I had it on my calendar, so I was mentally prepared. So I knew that even though part 3 was coming, I was like, I know we have a Secrets Revealed. So I never even got it in my head that it was over until next week.
I don't know what it was. My brain thought it was coming out Thursday, like yesterday, not in a week. And so I was like, oh. And then when it was like, no, you're going to tune in next week, I was like, son of a bitch.
Like, I had things to do.
Yeah. Like life. But also I'm like, okay, should we go? Should we do this again?
They do. Okay. They like to hype things up and like, they like to say that, this is going to be good. However, after this last hype up from fucking Alex Baskin.
What the hell?
He's an asshole. I'm mad at him.
Son of a bitch.
You know that do you remember who he was? The one who was fired on Beverly Hills?
No. Wait.
Yeah, so last season there was a big production shakeup and he was fired from the show. Yeah. Clearly not fired from Evolution, but they're like, because what was happening was he was basically like Lisa Rinna's protector, Kyle's protector. That's why you saw such a different edit for Kyle, because there wasn't that guy there anymore. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's him.
How did I not? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. And to be, okay, I'll give myself this. I have always been creating Bravo like memes and obsessed with Bravo, but I hadn't been dissecting the way I am now. It's not quite been a year. In fact, oh my God, you guys, this is episode number 50.
Congrats.
Oh, 50 sure flies by. So that is interesting because it's like there's certain aspects of this quote unquote reveal that I was like, okay, I can see where maybe he was wondering if Sandoval was going to maybe want to come back. But it wasn't enough to change it all. I mean, the rumors that it started, y'all, it was just like,
it was irresponsible.
I agree with that. That statement is very accurate because
Yeah.
I get wanting to hype it up. You know, like you can hype it up. I get it.
Yeah.
However,
However, you're just lying.
yeah, well, this all makes sense because it's quite equivalent to the whole Aspen shit we kept hearing about over and over and over on Beverly Hills and then never getting a single receipt aside from Kathy Hilton saying silence is golden. Like what?
Yeah.
What? That's it?
I'm like, that's your big reveal.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
it was very disappointing because we would have enjoyed that last scene with Raquel because it would have still been interesting, but instead we go in like, well, this better be good.
You're so right. That's
So
and
you
that's
kind of ruined our viewing
frustrating.
experience.
See, this is why and some people think I mean this in a way that is like, oh, be negative and not be positive. No, I mean this like always under promise and over deliver.
Always.
You will always keep people happy. Okay?
You gotta always do that. I learned that in my hospitality years, but it applies to everything. It applies to everything.
Yes.
Never
Like,
overpromise.
no, that's even just like I know you come from the acting world as well. You're on a veil for something. Oh, you're on a veil on a commercial with Aubrey Plaza. Tell no one. You haven't booked it.
No one.
You filmed it. Tell no one. Because I learned that the hard way one time. I booked a Jeep commercial that was supposed to be a Super Bowl commercial. Oh yes, my dumbass is sitting there. I went shooting for 3 days, went out to the Mojave Desert, went out to Bristol Farms. I mean, it was the 75th anniversary Jeep commercial. When I tell you, Emily, I was sitting there at a Super Bowl party. My whole family is here in Colorado too. Oh, bitch, yes. I still haven't seen the commercial, and I'm like, huh, okay. I was in a World War II Jeep in the Mojave Desert.
Oh, that's infuriating.
And I'm like, okay, well, it's not coming yet. And then they announce it's the Jeep halftime show. And I'm like, holy shit. My commercial's going to be part of the halftime show. And I'm sitting there
why would you not think that?
I mean, it's still, I have goosebumps from embarrassment of this. I was sitting there watching like, oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Maybe it's next one. No, not me. No. Next. No.
Oh God, that's brutal.
And then I had to go perform at IO West that night. Fucking sketch comedy. And I was like, I will not cry.
Oh.
They ended up using the commercial later.
Did you was it like a good job? Was it like residuals and all that stuff?
Yes, ma'am. You know, and the way you know it's good is when you get that like 10-cent check. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And then suddenly it's like, I'm not, the back of my head and side of my face did real well. Kept me afloat for a year and a half with no other job in Los Angeles. So
amazing.
Yes. That's the beauty and the curse of it. Okay. No one cares about my commercial acting history.
I did. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Emily.
I appreciated it.
Thank you so much because I know you have stories like this too.
You were much more successful than me, girl. I barely booked anything, so I wouldn't even have come close to a Super Bowl commercial.
It took a lot to get there.
Yeah, people don't realize that commercial work is actually hard to get, but to be repped to do theatrical work, like you usually need to get like commercially booked first, and like usually those are two very different things too. Like I was not good in commercial auditions. I didn't really translate to a commercial, but I could kill it in a theatrical audition. So acting's hard, man.
That's so frustrating. It is, y'all. And you can tell that it's very hard by the way Sandoval had to be coached by Lisa Vanderpump as though she were, some people aren't going to know what I'm saying, but I was like, Ivana Chubbuck could never. So should we jump in?
Do it.
All right, friends. Okay. So I loved that performance that Raquel's empty chair was giving. Speaking of acting, at the beginning of this episode, this part of the reunion, just sitting there, it gave a little more emotion than she did for a minute. And now, okay, I said we're going to jump in. There's something else I do want to touch on with you.
Okay.
I am struggling a bit because while I have been fully carrying my pitchfork and, yelling, maybe not burn her at the stake, but give her a sunburn at the stake. Um, there were a few moments when I rewatched that I went, shit, are we, and this is a conversation I'm going to have with someone later on another episode at some point, are we going to look back at some of this and reflect the way we have on Monica Lewinsky a bit? Now, Monica was not best friends with Hillary, but there have been a few moments here, a few as in maybe like two, that I went, ooh, that was a lot on Rachel.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'll say, I don't, okay. So I know what I think you're saying, like when Lala was like, you need to get mentally evaluated.
And yeah, and how fucking stupid are you? And mostly the moment at the end. There was a moment at the end in the confessional, mostly. There were that when Rachel is crying and she kind of looked like a very broken little girl. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And then the other moment was when Ariana looked at her and said, "You are nothing. You have no friends," type of thing. And now, I also want to preface this is that they were only 3 weeks out from finding this out, so we have to bear that in mind as well. Like, it was fresh. Just kind of
I didn't clock it. I didn't clock anything Ariana did personally as bad because she was so betrayed.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't clock Ariana's stuff, but I've heard the note from multiple people that they thought it went too far. My follow-up question though is they went just as hard on Sandoval,
Oh yeah.
and just because Raquel was able to stay quieter and more somber, I still don't
Just
think
stoic,
that
yeah.
excuses a lot of the stuff she did. So she just played it
Hell
better,
no.
in my opinion. Is it
And that's fair.
and her going against Sandoval was a great thing to do for her brand because now it gave us a different perspective on it. But I think that the raw emotion from Ariana, I thought everything she said was like she deserved to say it. And maybe that's me being
Agreed.
very toxic, but I was like,
It's not.
yeah, fuck you, Rachel, because you put her through hell. You let her defend you. You let her do all this shit. And so she has yet to see, this is her first time seeing her.
Exactly.
And
3
she's got to
weeks
sit
after.
there. And I give Rachel credit for showing up, but if she wants to be back on the show, she had to.
Yeah.
But I think
She should
that
not go
it
back
must
on
have,
that show.
it just was really, really hard to have to hear that she was in love with Tom. And she's like, are you
Oh my God.
fucking kidding? So yeah, I didn't clock any of that. I clocked Lala's line though, where she's like, you need to get mentally evaluated. I was like, okay, well, if you do think she needs to get mentally evaluated, then maybe you shouldn't say it like that. But it is tough when you've got Rachel saying, basically the only reason Lala's ever been mean to her is because other guys gave her attention. And that's
Right.
fucking like awful.
I agreed, and that's part of where I haven't talked through with anyone out loud my feelings on that. My problem is I tend to automatically want to defend someone who I think is like an underdog. And then at the same time, she would make me feel like that, like it would be like a tiny twist in my stomach. And then immediately she would do something that I'd be like, all right, fuck you, bitch. And so it's not like I have no sympathy for her. There were two very small moments that I was like, there was a little bit of empathy for the pile on from the nation and everyone at the same time. And then I was like, I don't know. And then she'd be like laughing with Sandoval in the back room. And I'd be like, oh no, you are a piece of shit. So it's weird. It's a weird feeling. I don't like it. It's like, I don't know. It's uncomfortable. Kind of
Yeah.
like how suddenly we like James. It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that. I
Um,
can't forget that she was like, I'm gonna kiss Schwartz, fuck Katie. Like I just
no,
don't
piece
have
of
as
shit
much
behavior.
like I just think she knew how to play it when she went in there
Hmm.
a little bit more. Sandoval doesn't know how to play it because Sandoval is legitimately a narcissist and
Yes.
thinks he's right. Like he proved it when he said the t-shirt comment. Like he proved that he
Oh,
thinks he was justified because Ariana did it to him.
that moment.
It's it
Holy
and every single person who I've talked to about it, it's like you can't even find the words. The layers
no,
of it keep going. Like right when you think you're pissed off enough, you're like, no, hold on,
no.
there's another layer to it. It was so vile.
It was sick.
It came out of his mouth like Alex Baskin excused that too. That Variety interview they did, Alex Baskin was like, I think he was just exhausted and he was
Oh,
tired of the
fuck off.
pylon and like he just said something terrible. I'm like, no, I think it'd be. But I have to say something. Whenever we get interviews with execs, they can't do what we do. They
No, they
can't go
cannot.
here and do what they can't come in here and do this because they're employing everybody.
They're biased completely.
And so if they need to keep Tom on the show, there can't be a soundbite of him being like, he's an asshole, he's terrible, because you need Tom to say yes to come back to the show and they need to get something out of him. Like he even says in the interview, like, we don't try to make them uncomfortable. The opposite, actually. We try to make them comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. So I wanted Alex Baskin to be like, Tom is the devil, but they have to be neutral because they
It's
look at
that's
it as
and
dollar signs.
you're right. And that's part of where you know, do we need them to be giving an interview in that style? Because I liked what they did with Variety, where was it Variety or Hollywood Reporter? Now I'm getting it mixed up. Where Sheena, I think it's Variety, where Sheena was talking to
That
them,
one,
and
yeah.
we got like, yeah, and like we got some insight on the seating arrangements, how they present that. Yes, we want those. That is such a great point because I kind of like Lisa being involved, the way she was so listen, I have always loved LVP. I couldn't really help it, but I am really questioning myself for liking her so much. The misogyny, and I think that's maybe, to be honest, where part of my head was turning. Now my head wasn't turning. How do I explain that? Where I felt that tiny twinge of like being a little pissed just because she went the way she went in at Rachel versus defending Tom.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she
yeah,
went in so hard.
but it's like then you can argue, well, it's even worse because that's the girl code. But then he's the one that was in the real. It's they're both pieces of shit. What can I say? Like so I can get, but just give the same to both of them. You didn't see Lisa backstage talking to Rachel that way. Does she have the history with Rachel? Does she love her that same way? No. So fair, but you still need to give both of them the same. I
Yeah.
mm,
She's always like I have not liked Lisa and I feel like I came around to Lisa because Pia, who I do a lot of my podcasts with, she's a regular guest on my show. She has loved Lisa and she kind of pled her case and I was like, okay, I'll give it to you. She's like a
yeah,
good villain. Um,
yes, that too.
yeah, she's a good like crafty, manipulative villain. She's no one's better at it than her. However,
Absolutely.
I've always clocked her misogyny. Like her friend Muhammad is like been accused of like assaulting young women. So I
Yeah.
knew I was like this no one's clocking this, but Black Lives Matter when that whole thing was a big deal, she never said black people. She just said I have all kinds of people of all walks of life that work in my restaurant. So I can't possibly be racist. I'm like
Not on your show.
employing people is not this like get out of here. So I've always clocked her and I let it go because I was like, well, she's just doing Vanderpump and she's actually been good this season because they figured out how to use her finally. But then she started doing this and I was like, I'm not even surprised
No.
that you're not educated on what is dangerous about Tom Sandoval. Also, bitch, where
She
you
wasn't
been?
calling him a yeah, I mean she wasn't calling him a rapist, although there are some alleged stories coming out right now. I listen, Reddit.
What?
Yes, Reddit. I saw one on Reddit and I'm trying to remember the site that it was from and I believe it was it on the Heavy? I don't know. It's always really hard touch on those things because I am very much, I'm not a breaking news person.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
am
I don't
not,
want to be. I get scared.
no, no.
I'm like, don't
In
ask. I
fact,
don't know. Never mind. I take it back. Like always. Anytime I've ever
yeah,
done that thing where I'm like, I'll break this first. I've only done it maybe twice. I hate it. I hate it. I take it
it
back.
is stressful.
I
It's
hate it.
stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And my listeners know about this, how I did call out a particular, I'm not going to do her the service of saying the name of her account. I don't even know what her real name is. But the Raquel pregnancy rumors were pretty gross to me, and I'm like, and this was not me defending Raquel. This was me like saying, okay, well, you accusing a female in this country at the moment of being pregnant if they maybe don't want to be, that is dangerous to do to a person. Raquel is a terrible person, but she's still a female with a right to her own body decisions. So you don't even know what kind of position you could have been putting her in. And if she was in Arizona, in Tucson, and also, why would you want to out a person's pregnancy?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And this woman was so angry at me
Oh, really?
for saying, because obviously it turned out not to be true, and she had like some anonymous text message or messages for, it was such bullshit. I was like, no,
I
this is
think I
not
know
what.
exactly who you're talking about, actually.
She told me that she was going to put me and every contact I have on blast. She went on a live to talk shit on. I mean, I was on TikTok and I was like, girl, you are out
Bye.
of your mind. I kept telling her, you need to calm down. Like, and I don't normally say that, especially to another woman.
We know the
Like,
rules.
yes, I do. Okay. I play by those rules. I didn't use words calm down. I said, actually, we need to take a breath. Okay. Because I still play by the rules, even if I don't like the woman.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's so much, like, you don't want to be wrong, okay? I don't like being wrong that much. Like, I really don't. And that's a big wrong. Big wrong.
That's a big
Big.
wrong.
Mm-hmm. And, outing pregnancy as well, there are so many things, even if she wanted to keep it, like, it's just, that is wrong. Okay. Anywho. Back to the Dementors and cheese graters. Okay. How much were you enjoying Sheena in her trailer as much as I was?
I was like, God, I would give anything to be watching the trailer with Sheena, Allie, and Brock in her like slippers
With White Claws.
with white claws. It was so cute.
The way, and I getting the chance to watch in watch parties now, like, how are we ever going to go back to it once you have that opportunity?
I know.
And everyone was cracking up. Sheena provided, and it's not to say Sheena didn't have the right to be upset and emotional, but it was like something about it. She provided the most beautiful comic relief. And it was just,
We needed it. We deserved it.
we deserved all of it. So Raquel walks out like she's going on the pageant stage. And we get this, hi, Raquel. Hi, Andy. And he asks how she's doing. Okay. I'm holding up. I'm super embarrassed and not proud of myself. And I know I owe a lot of people in this room an apology. Okay. It just, this is where, like, these moments that I'm saying, it just was like, dude, you fell flat everywhere. Everywhere.
It was very
And
stock
basically-
answers.
Yeah, she was very scripted, as we know she always has been. That's just like always been her thing.
Yeah.
And she's not good at sticking to a script, though, is part of the problem. She needs some improv classes.
Yeah. Oh no, she. Oh my God, can you imagine her in an improv class?
Oh my, she,
Oh my God.
listen, improv was hard as shit for
I'm
me.
so bad at improv. Like I can't. I'm not.
You're
good
great at it.
Oh no. Like improv class, terrible.
I
But
crumbled quite a few times in that.
yeah, no, it's really hard. But I can't even imagine. That would just be.
She would completely short circuit.
Yeah.
Completely. So to summarize all of, that beginning part, it was like, oh, Katie really tried to give Rachel a chance, wanted to, because that's why she invited her to the divorce party in Vegas and Havasu and not Sheena. It was just pretty much, she was just trying.
She's
She
just
thought
trying.
maybe they were going to have like a hot girl summer together. So this whole thing, this is where Rachel really like the wrong foot. It gives like my sinuses are flaring up from this. When we get to the part about Havasu and all of that, and Rachel says, I was so uncomfortable on that trip the entire time. What? No, you were not. Now the girls, without knowing what we know, would they have looked like complete and total assholes? Yeah, they would have if she hadn't gone and done what she did. But you're on a reality TV show, and how long has she been on this show? For like 4 years?
Yeah, at least.
You know you're going to be a little uncomfortable, at least. And just as you were speaking on, the producers are going to try and make you feel comfortable. Production is, but they are not there to, like the girls especially, are not there to make you feel comfortable. It's when you're uncomfortable that it's good TV. I'm very sorry. It's also good TV when you're having fun. I really like to always reiterate that. But we don't necessarily tune in to see someone like Rachel sit and be comfortable. And then why were we here?
Why did we talk about Vanderpump Vegas? Why? That's because like Bravo, I swear Bravo gets a cut of some of Lisa's businesses.
Oh yeah, they do.
Right?
Bethany's the only person who ever made a deal with Bravo where she said, you will not take any money from my business.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive now that I'm saying that though. I'm always again scared of being wrong.
I know.
I'm pretty positive though. Now that I'm saying that, is it that if they start a business and then try to promote it? But this is no. Surely they get a cut. Come on, they get a cut.
I was like, why are you talking about LVP's Paris and Vegas, whatever?
And she's doing like Elaine.
Yeah.
Writing?
Always. I'm not surprised. She loves him. It's his over the top gaudy stuff. Like, okay, I will not in any way say that her restaurants are ugly, but when you go to Sir, you're like, okay, what? It's so bad.
Y'all, it does not look like it looks on TV.
No. It's weird.
And I've been when it was like popular, like before.
Me too.
You know what what I'm talking about.
I was there when Katie was still working there, and I was like,
yes.
This is it? It's got like purple lighting everywhere.
It is.
It's so
and lots
cheesy.
of wood and dark wood.
Yes.
It's I don't know. It's a bar in Weeville.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say it. I'm sure Vanderpump Paris is probably very pretty. I'll give it that because it's Vegas, but it's gonna be. We expect Vegas. Do I want to go when we all go to BravoCon? Obviously,
we are going.
We're going. We are going.
100%. Like I would go there. It's gonna be fabulous. But like I just know that her stuff, like when her and Elaine were putting that like necklace on those dogs, I was like,
oh my God.
Listen, take the fucking necklaces off these dogs.
Ma'am, this is a statue. It is not like Jiggy's clone reincarnated.
And then she gets mad. She's like, people keep stealing these. I'm like, I don't blame them because they're just so random. They look like they're not supposed to be on there.
Exactly. That of course they're gonna steal that necklace. They can go buy a table over at Aria or something.
It's so stupid. Okay, sorry, guys. Don't mean to bash Lisa.
Oh well, no, I'm not totally happy with her right now.
Yeah, good.
And yeah, I'm not. I've always liked her. Okay, but now, no. So Raquel blames all of this like shit that she said, like that. Well, thank God you don't have a fucking man to steal on. I'm sorry. Sometimes the balls on this young woman.
Oh yeah.
Young woman. You're almost 30. You're a woman.
Yeah.
Woman, bitch. I just okay. And she was apparently shocked at how drunk she got that night. And my personality did shift this summer. Like, there was a change in my mindset. I started not pleasing every single person around me, and I only started pleasing myself and Tom Sandoval.
I don't like that this is how she's pitching the change in her, because I said this ad nauseum on my recap. If you're a people person or a people pleaser, sorry, and you're trying to not be a people pleaser, to say that that's why I was able to let myself cheat with my friend's man, like that's not that's not a segue. No. You don't go from that. I'm just trying not to be a people pleaser too, and that's why I then let myself, because she admits in her one-on-one, she admits it, like she basically was like, are you really happy with Ariana? Like, I'm sure Tom has been planting this. I can tell.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Rachella was not. All of us get why Rachella happened now.
Yes,
all of us do. Because
Tom, low key hitting on her.
He wants to like control everything, and so he wanted to control that and make her think like, wow, I'm so awesome. He's been working her for a minute, but her being like, I just stopped pleasing other people and wanted to please myself. I'm like, that's a different thing. That's talking about maybe not like going to a party because you don't really want to go.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Is not like saying no to a few parties you don't have the mental capacity to go to.
Yeah. And not worrying if they're upset about it. That's
yes.
That's what that is. Okay.
Exactly. Words out of my mouth.
Makes me so pissed that she kept doing that.
Because that's, to me, she went from people pleasing, then if that's her excuse, everyone around her, to people pleasing Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
And on top of that, on pleasing herself, she was, the only way she was pleasing herself was being able to say, yeah, well, Tom, who loves Ariana, chose me. And 500 other girls, apparently.
Yeah, dude.
If he's gonna cheat on Ariana, it was with me.
Yeah, because he literally chose her. So she's like, wow, this, like, you're really intentionally looking for me here.
The cult leader.
Cult leader. He's a cult leader.
Oh, God.
It's happening.
This part of when we'd already seen, what this monologue from Ariana, which, listen, I wish I had that type of
God, tell me about it.
Precision. In the moment, there's no way.
Andy said that in that Variety article. He's like, I was just blown away at how succinct her words were. They were cutting, but they were just, because when I'm highly emotional, I don't get eloquent.
Not at all. I only get eloquent when I'm having the argument later in the shower. That's when I am a genius.
Like, damn it.
Or in like the moment
in the car driving away. I'm like, I have another thing. Like, I have a whole, but not in the moment. In the moment, I probably start crying because I'm so mad. Like, I just lose all verbal skills. So
same. I
what
do.
Ariana did is unbelievable.
I cannot, like, she could be like a poet laureate at this point. I believe it. Maybe she should be doing the limericks, not Jackie.
Oh God, dude, that was painful. I was like, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. Don't make her do a limerick. Please, Jesus Christ, stop.
Like, I'm turning red for you. It's like being at an amateur stand-up comedy show. I can't, like, I lose my shit at those. I think we talked about this last time. I'm turning red even thinking about it. Oh my God.
Yeah, hate it.
And so after Ariana had said, no, what you did was subhuman, and Raquel, the balls. Speaking of Jersey, like the Danielle Cabral, dragging my balls out the door. This is Rachel. I actually feel like my actions are human. It's exactly that. Oh, you worked hard on that, didn't you?
She actually had way too much of an attitude in her head there too. She like did her little chin thing. She's like, I feel like my actions are human. I'm like, don't give a chin. Like when you start to do this, that's an attitude. I don't like that. And she had an attitude, and I'm like, no.
Exactly.
Tom has been totally feeding her like, this is what we're humans, what humans do. So she is rolling with that, especially because other people in the group have cheated. So she's like, see, I have this this to, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And now, like, that point that you made, because that's something that was driving me nuts. It's like she was like one of those girls with like one of the high ponytails. Now, listen, I can be guilty of this sometimes. 'Cause I'm like, oh, my ponytail's bouncing. I'm so cute.
Yeah.
But she, like, the way she shakes the bob. Yes, the bob is cute on her.
Yeah,
Fine.
fine. She was much better with shorter hair.
Yes. But still. So, everyone starts piling on her, and they're like, no, that's not human. And and y'all know I love Lala, okay? And I made a note of this later on. Lala is very capable of being succinct and just bam with everything. I want her to take her power back by not just immediately saying shut up.
I agree.
I think she could say, there are a lot of things she could say instead of shut up. So it would have been funny and great if she only said it a few times. Like at this moment when it was like, okay, I'm talking, shut up, Tom. That if she never really said it again, that's fine. But continuing to just tell someone to not talk, I don't know. It kind of bugged me a little bit. I know a lot of people were,
because it was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, like that.
Yes.
I agree.
And you can
like,
see that in the
I just want
transcription.
her to keep talking. Like, I just wanted her to, I'm like, just ignore him. Keep talking. Talk over him.
Yes. 100%. And that's, just take your power back. So eventually it's like, I would like to hear from both of you, Tom and Lala. And ladies first. And when Lala is saying, like to watch the way they were acting and the way they were, the things they were saying while they were fucking each other. Lala, we weren't fucking first and foremost. Oh, were you making love?
I love when she said that.
See, that's the shit I want from Lala. Okay?
Were you making love? It was so funny. I thought that's what he was getting at too, because it's unfathomable that he thinks we're that stupid to think it was one time. They never discuss, because here's the thing, you're hanging out all the time. So you got to have discussed that you fucked. There's no way you're not like, so we're just not going to talk about that. We're just going to keep hanging out. We're going to go to the Abbey late and blah, 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 blah. No. So he thought it was real. So I thought that's what he meant when he's like, we weren't fucking. I thought he meant we're making love. So when Lala said that, I was like, yes, that's what I thought he meant too. But he's like, no, it was one. He is sitting in this goddamn reunion. He also was doing this in his scenes with Schwartz and Ariana. He has held on to this one-time lie.
Thank you.
So hard, yet he's screaming that he's taking accountability. I'm like, you're lying.
Sandoval, once he decides on his script,
there
are specific things. Like, you noticed he definitely coached Schwartz, because did you notice how many times they used the word scapegoat?
Yeah.
So many times. I'm not going to scapegoat him. And the thing is, I really like to reiterate that Schwartz loves a word of the day calendar, because he loves sounding so intelligent with words like, is it a juxtaposition? Like, like fourth graders know that word. Okay.
Yeah.
That's on their spelling bee list. Maybe. That's not some AP classes shit. All right.
Yeah.
And so for Schwartz to be using certain words that are the same as Sandoval over and over, that is such a telling sign to me, because he loves words and he thinks that really elevates himself. And so to use the same words that Sandoval is over and over, that just doesn't read to me as something Schwartz would love to do. And so that's why, yes, the one time. Did you notice, though, even in the reunion, I didn't, and I practically transcribed the whole goddamn thing. I have a problem. This is the last time, my friends, I'm transcribing episodes like this. I watch next week, please God, no. But
And you guys, she also has it color coordinated.
I do.
It's like, this is giving, I'm like, I have envy. Like, I need to step it up.
No, you have a life that has other things happen.
That's true. Just for right now, though. Once I move, I'm back to doing nothing but this.
Yeah, y'all, she's joining me in the middle, the mid beginning of a move, which y'all, the beginning mid of the move is the worst part. So even more, show her some love. Go follow Emily. Go do all of it. Go listen to her podcast. She is generous, okay? Sitting here talking to my ass with my color-coded notes.
I'm obsessed with them though. Like they're visually gorgeous.
Listen, it's it stresses me out. That's why I'm not doing it anymore. I can't do this to myself. Okay. um, so when we finally get to the part where, and even James clocked it. Okay. Why does he keep saying one time? It was more than one time.
We're not stupid.
We are, you know how like Taylor Swift fans, like the Swifties, are crazy looking for Easter eggs and everything? Bravo fans are worse. We will call around. We will scope out. We will stalk your attorney. We will do it all. Mm-hmm. Tom, no.
Like you guys got busted lying about her spending the night. Once you guys came out, once it was discovered you were having an affair, everyone put all those things together. Everybody. So he thinks it really affects. He thinks it really changes things.
The one time
he's like, it's totally different, guys. It's not. Even if it was just one time, it's not.
Y'all claim still to have a relationship.
So yes. So you were obviously having conversations in that period of time, if you want us to believe it's one, that were romantic enough for you guys to then start falling in love.
That's it right there. Because if it was just a one-time thing and that we're supposed to believe that you're better than being physical, multiple times, then what should have happened was you both should have come clean, especially Tom. That's who should have first come in and should have been bawling your eyes out. Go grab some menthol sticks, put them under your nose and your eyes, bawl your eyes out and say, I fucked up, I'm sorry. That would be eventually forgivable because they've all done this shit, right? Mm-hmm. But they haven't done this.
Yep.
And so there were moments, I don't know if I'm just now too deep into conspiracizing things, but I was almost like, are they actually in love, or did Tom say they were in love just to make it look better?
You know what? It feels like Tom is not in love with her. Mm-mm. It really does. It feels like he is not. So
did you watch the same psychologist do his thing on? Because I
stopped midway through, but I started watching it, and yes, I started. I got a good chunk of it.
Because what I try to do until I've done my recap on episodes, I won't listen to any other podcast, which kills me because I want to know, but then
I find myself, I might parrot what they say, and I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's also been hard for me because I love listening to other people's podcasts on this stuff. And so lately, especially, I've just been having to, I haven't listened to anything for so long. It's part of why I'm ready for this. I want to get back to my regular scheduled programming.
I know what you mean. Totally.
But I mean, the stuff this psychologist said, I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And I can't remember the name of it. I think it's pop psychology or something like that, maybe. So anyway. Okay. Oh my God. When Andy asks about the conversation in the back garden at Pump, and Lisa is basically saying, I've never seen anything like it before. What? I've never seen a piece of film like that conversation. Bitch, really? Okay. Y'all, did you forget y'all had a little conversation about a woman's husband physically abusing her in your home? And okay. Sure. Trigger warning. Sorry, friends. And he asks Rachel what it was like watching those scenes. Oh, God, it was so hard for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it? Was it hard for you to watch, Rachel?
Girl.
And something because I am going to continue to call her Rachel, and maybe this was just me as well, But I almost felt like she was trying to spin that calling her Rachel is like equivalent to
She was.
calling someone by their dead name.
She was. She tried that because she's seen it online.
Yeah.
She's seen it online from the people because
It wasn't just me.
during this whole Sandoval evolution, because at first it was brand new and we didn't know what it was and we were still learning things and finding things out and we were going to have things to watch coming up. So there was a section of fans, and I noticed this when something huge happens, they just like to go against the grain because they don't like to feel like someone's being ganged up on, and they think by adding a bit of conversation to something like, look at me, I'm different, I'm so enlightened that I can see that maybe she deserves to be called Raquel. We call Lala Lala.
It's different.
It's different because if we called Lala Lauren, she wouldn't be like, who's
Pissed.
Lauren?
Yeah.
She's like,
Exactly.
that's my name.
Well, why Rachel, why didn't you change your name? If that's the name that's not a nickname.
Mm-hmm. And she could not grasp that. So when she says the
No.
line, anytime you call someone out of their preferred name, it's disrespectful. I'm like, you've seen that in a comment because I have reviews on my podcast that are like, oh, she's not going to call Raquel. She's going to call her Rachel, but she's going to call Lala. Like, I refuse to listen to this podcast.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, so people
sorry,
people
they
were
don't.
up in arms about it, and she's
No!
reading these comments and she's parroting them.
Okay, and here's another example of the difference. Because if y'all watched the Randall scandal, Lala's brother said, I'm the one who started calling her Lala.
Because I couldn't
And
say
so-
Lauren.
Exactly. And they didn't mind it. So my name, Caitlin, I could not say my own name when I was little, and I called myself Kiki. So it's weird now that I'm trying to explain it. I have it in the notes here too, that like my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old nephews call me Aunt Kiki. And I think we just assumed they wouldn't be able to say my name.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they even know my real name. And so that is a nickname. Am I going to be pissed if they start calling me Caitlin? No. I'm going to be like, oh, great, you can say my name. Am I going to be a little sad? Like, oh, it was so cute when you were calling me Kiki. But like, it's that's a nickname. A nickname is something of course, actually, now that I'm saying this, I gave myself the nickname, didn't I?
You gave yourself the nickname.
I did.
But you were a
But I
kid.
didn't know what I was doing.
Your family like picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, but normally nicknames you don't give yourself, but nope, I gave myself that nickname. Another example, nickname for me is Kate. I never started calling myself that. My friends just started calling me that. There you go. And I'm sure, Emily, you know what that's like to have multiple Emilys in your class. I don't see you going by Emmeline.
No. You become Emily H or whatever that's. Did you watch 30 Rock by chance? Were you a
I do
30 Rock
not.
fan?
No.
Okay, so there's a great moment where one of the adult writers, like he's a full-grown adult, he had an affair with his teacher when he was in like a younger grade or something, and it's Susan Sarandon plays her, and Susan Sarandon comes into the scene and he's like, Mrs. whatever her name is, and she goes, Frank R. Because that's how you were acknowledged as a child. Like there was always that person with the last initial because there were too many. So it's a thing.
It is. That's how it's normal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't start going by Raquel. Listen, I'm not going to make fun of first grade Rachel because I can, but I'm going to make fun of this Rachel, but I know you remember this too. Whenever they were flying to Mexico and she showed, this was before any of it came out, and they were still filming, and she showed her passport or like her plane ticket. She was at the airport, and everyone was suddenly like, wait, Rachel? So it was kind of funny whenever everyone just suddenly was like, wait, her name's Rachel. No, she even outed herself. She posted her stupid plane ticket. I wouldn't have, if I wanted no one to think this is going to be a weird story here, but it'll take 2 seconds. There was a time when I kept being told like your name, because there's a reason why it's also difficult for me to try and even have the podcast just be my name. And I know you understand this. The name Caitlin Marshall is so common, it's taken everywhere. and I actually happen to have 4 names. Hopefully, well, I mean, they don't know my social security number, so it's fine.
Okay, that's
my
good.
full name is Caitlin Lauren Giles Marshall. So I know, right? A mouthful. And I had some people tell me you should try and go by have your first name be Giles, okay? Now, let's say I did that. Let's just say. And I wanted everyone to know me as Giles Marshall. Okay. I'm not going to post on social media if I feel that strongly about not having people call me Caitlin. Here's my plane ticket with my name. That would be a trigger thing for me that I would absolutely cover up that part. And I would only have my last name showing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that important to you.
Mm-hmm.
That was, okay. So, nice tangent, Caitlin. So when Ariana, at this point, when it was that said that Rachel said she was genuinely coming from a place of, do you want to be in this relationship? To Sandoval. And Ariana, to Ariana, when she was having that conversation with her, that really fucked up conversation in the back garden, asking about their intimacy. And Ariana said the answer was yes, and he had already fucked him at that point. So shut the fuck up. I'm not even ready to fully say this part. It felt a little violent. She was entitled to it.
Yeah.
Go F yourself with an effing cheese grater. Fuck you. You fucking suck. You're disgusting. And I wish nothing but the fucking worst shit that can ever happen to a person on you. And then when Sandoval says this, it was the most Sandoval thing to say of all time. I mean, the only other person who could have said something like this would have been Schwartz, that it would have made sense because they're the same human being, basically. The thing is, like, we don't live our lives by logic. Did you come up with that when you were on shrooms?
Totally. But then I hate that LVP's like, there was no logic to this. I'm like, shut up. Lisa, shut up. Why
And
you
know
do
they
that?
wanted to tell her to shut up so badly. So badly.
Yeah.
It was too much. And we all saw this in the previews, so, but this part, to know what prompted all of it is kind of what cracks me up, is when he's like, and she did, yeah, there was no logic. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Feelings took over. And Sandoval's eyes, okay? Like, his tell
I'm dying.
is that his eyes get so shifty, and he doesn't move his head. And it's every time, like on that Watch What Happens Live he did with Schwartz before we knew any of this, and apparently Rachel was back in the hotel room. I even took a picture of my TV being like, what is his deal? And I posted it on Twitter whenever they were talking about fidelity in their relationships. And he was getting those shifty eyes anytime. That is his tell. Is he stops moving, his chin goes in here, and he starts gripping the chair too. Sandoval likes to really grip a chair as it's like he's on the plane and it's going down. He's gripping it for dear life in here, and only the eyes move. And it's like,
and he can't make actual eye contact with anyone.
You're right.
He looks in a general direction, or he looks kind of down. I'm like, dude, you can't. You got to get better at lying. If you're gonna lie so much, you might as well.
It's like is it? Because I know you've dated actors too, surely. Is it like an actor thing? I can't let go of the fact that he was an actor, and I think I'm triggered.
He's the
by
worst
past relationships.
actor. He really is a terrible actor. Like, and I mean that with all the shade I can possibly throw someone who thinks they're an actor and they're not. He is a bad actor.
You heard he still submits to projects, right?
No. On what, like backstage or whatever it's
LA
called?
casting?
LA casting?
On Actors Access?
Craigslist? Actors Access. That's what I was thinking of. Yes. Like, to what? Like, to indie projects? Do you remember? It was a long time ago. I think it was season 2. Peter had a short film and he had to play whatever. It's like some sci-fi thing and he couldn't get the line right. He was supposed
And
to
he
say
had, like,
commander, but he kept saying lieutenant or something, and they kept having to cut and be like, "You're saying it again. You're saying." He had one line. Yeah, he's terrible. He's a fucking terrible, terrible actor.
Listen, it's like one thing when, for example, like there are some auditions you go to, and I'm sorry, y'all weren't tuning in for the actors studio, but okay, here we are. Like where they only give you the sides like right when you get to the audition, and that, you know, obviously you're not going to be what's called off book. Yeah. And that's the way commercial auditions always are, right? Like you get, no matter what, you don't, no, not always. Maybe within 24 hours you'll get it. And that's honestly the way a lot of other auditions are. But he had technically booked this. It was one singular line. So, that reminds me of one of the times I auditioned for Beau.
Oh, really?
I've told this story before, but we're going to say I was auditioning for Workout World. It was one line. Okay. It was me and another person. And you could tell half the people in the room knew exactly who he was, and half the people had no idea. Whatever. When we were getting our breakdown, you know, they bring in the group. We, at so many at a time. Then, okay, it's you two going. And I know that the girl in the room with me knew exactly who he was, and she was shitting her fucking pants. And so, and of course I knew who he was, but I was like, dude, we're both working right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's like, whatever. And so all she had to do, and we were going to switch parts. We were going to do 2 takes. One, I'm the customer. And all she had to say was, welcome to Workout World. And then I would switch and say, welcome to Workout World. She goes, welcome to World Workout.
Oh, my God.
And Beau just goes, oh, my God. And I was like, I'm just going to keep going. Sorry, I have tears in my eyes remembering. It was so like, because you know how it is, like when it's awkward in the room and you're like, fuck, should I just keep, I'm just going to that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And like, you go. And I was like, thanks. You're supposed to be relieved, you know? Yeah, so that's Tom Sandoval. So we get to the part where Rachel grows, her balls get a little bigger. They got a little heavier. And she goes, no. You guys can't talk. Wait, I have a line I want to say. It's my turn. Wait, James and Lala can't talk because they fucked and they can't keep it a secret. And they kept it a secret. Even I couldn't get the line right. I wasn't your best friend, ho. True.
Sorry, I love
that was funny. I did not feel bad for her in that moment, trust me.
No, not at all.
And I know a lot of people were like, I'm so annoyed with James and Lala chiming in. I think that Ariana had gone through the exhaustion of yelling. And I wish for everyone to never have to be in that relationship, okay? But if in that relationship, more than one that I've had, where it was that exhaustive yelling, where you're like, and if I had a friend who was quick and could cut him off at the feet, and I could just sit there and relax for a second, oh my God, I would have welcomed that and enjoyed every second.
I think it's actually sometimes easier to defend someone like your friend than it is to like stand up for yourself. Like I feel like there have been times where I've been more mad at something that happened to my friend than they even appear to be mad. So I understood it.
I did too. I kind of am tired of seeing everyone get pissed off. There were only a few moments where I was like, okay, James, can you do it? But do it in the right moment. Like sometimes I did actually want to hear an answer because I wanted to see them squirm.
He was almost giving them too much time by interrupting. He was giving them time to think.
You are so right. That's what it was. You know, okay, so I'm gonna, because some of this got a little redundant, but this part, I was about on the floor. I'm not gonna lie. When they were kind of going, when Sandoval and James were going back and forth, and James is like, all right, you know, let's be honest here. Multiple. And Sandoval, can we get him a dialect coach?
That was
Multiple.
embarrassing.
I'm James Kennedy.
Because
I
you were
know
trying to
everything.
insult
Like,
James,
are you
but
Australian or
went,
are you
multiple,
British?
multiple. I'm James Kennedy. I know everything. Like, you didn't even do it. You didn't even do a kind of British accent.
Wasn't even Cockney.
It was terrible.
Yeah, even Eliza Doolittle would have been like,
Awful.
what the fuck, bro?
Awful.
Okay, so then again, this more of this stupid like, Lala, weren't you a mistress? Oh, we've been over it. Okay, she was lied to. It is a different situation.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And it's interesting. This part was interesting to me too, because Lala, you know, Sandoval was like, why couldn't you go to his house? Referring to when they were dating. And she was like, hindsight's 2020, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel uses the hindsight later on.
Yes, she does.
So, okay. So then we get to the part where Sandoval accuses Lala of yelling at Rachel, saying, oh, you know, you were telling her to do your research. She never said that. Well, she did, but not in that way. She wasn't yelling at her.
And honestly, she was really, really nice in that scene. So
exactly. She was treating her like a little sister, you know, and it was just kind of like, I don't want to say I'm going to, because I don't like the word dumb quite so much. We're going to call Rachel a bit dizzy. Because we get that flashback. Because also, Rachel is saying that Lala was trying to rewrite history about saying that she referred to herself as the mistress. Rachel, you are dizzy as hell. She was saying, I've been called the mistress.
That would go over Raquel's head. That would be like, she's like, you did say it. And then they show the flash. I'm like, she didn't. She said, I've been called those. Girl, you're too. Mm-mm.
It's concerning. Like where's Graham? How have you kept Graham alive at all? Is what I would like to.
Seriously.
And then I feel like she was so kind to her about that. Like I thought it was really sweet. So then Andy brings up that, okay, Lala, when Raquel and Charlie left the house, Raquel said that you were mad that Oliver chose her instead of you. Was there any part of you that felt upset at her? No. Because I'm going to tell you, I have a big highlighted portion here where I am confused as shit about some of this, and I don't know why we didn't touch more on it. Because, listen, we do have to, you know. So, first, Rachel says that they were harassing her. And Lala's like, no, it was about the comment you made, right? And this is Lala says, what did I harass you about? When did I harass you, dumb bitch? My God, I have a degree. No one go to that school, because if this is the product that comes out of it, fuck. Zing. So, okay. Rachel says that Oliver told Lala and her at the same time he was separated from his wife. We saw that. And then scrolling down some, it comes out, how long did Lala know Oliver was not separated from his wife? This was like, wait a minute. Now, do I believe that LVP 100% was under the assumption and belief that Oliver was not with his wife any longer? Yes, I believe that. Okay, I will give I will give LVP that. Okay, but so Lala found out the day before. That's what she said. That Oliver wasn't separated?
The day before it came out.
Oh my God. Okay. Because here's what I was not understanding. I thought she found out the day before they were in Vegas
No,
or a week before.
when the ex-wife went public.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, why would okay.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Then I mean, she wasn't really obligated to tell
Yeah.
Rachel that.
No.
Okay. Because it didn't make sense to me that Lala, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See, sometimes all it takes, you just got to talk to a friend out loud. And yeah, no, she wasn't trying to make, well, she probably was letting her look stupid.
Yeah.
She didn't need help looking stupid.
But they thought
Again,
this was a gotcha moment.
No, okay. And maybe it was I being gullible? Oh my God. Damn it. Got me. I did love that Lala was bringing in some Potomac references, telling Rachel that she slithers. You slither, you fucking slither, calling her a psychopath and basically calling her a snake. But the fact that she slithers, I was like, oh, okay, let's get a Dr. Wendy reference in there. Okay, back and forth. Sorry, because y'all, I have so many notes. It's just kind of like, let's find where the big parts are. I loved this that when Sandoval was trying to mock Lala, saying, well, you know, she was like, I think I called it pretty well regarding their relationship, saying that, oh, you've been the most vocal about a relationship, the person who knows the least regarding him and Ariana. And Lala said, you know, I think I called it pretty well. I think I called it pretty well. Which you hate. That's why I trigger you. He hates me because I see him for who he is. Dangerous. Like, yep.
Sandoval has the worst clapbacks. His clapbacks are just like, "Ugh, I'm gonna mock you." I'm like, you got to get better at this, bro.
He does, especially if you're going to do shit like this.
Yeah,
You know
this
what
is
I mean?
embarrassing.
Like,
He just keeps mocking the way people talk. I'm like, that's like, I know you are, but what am I? Like, that's the equivalent of your read level.
And he's the easiest person to mock on the planet for the way he talks.
Seriously,
Like,
seriously.
and we had to be tortured through the flashback again of Schwartz and Rachel making out. Listen, Schwartz, I have certain feelings about Schwartz that have made very apparent. I'm not the biggest fan of Schwartz, clearly. And he tried really hard to be some sort of comic relief, and it was like, read the room, sir. No one cares that you thought you had like some Casanova undertones when you make out.
Yeah, bro. Gross.
That was gross.
gross. Like, fuck off.
Katie hit the nail on the head. No. Well,
Ew.
it was like father-daughter kissing. Ew. And Ariana's like, yeah, she already fucked your best friend. So that was a little weird when he was trying to say to Rachel, like, didn't we, you know, like have some sort of chemistry? And Ariana's like, you know what? Maybe you didn't know that she had already fucked your best friend, but she did, and so did he.
Yeah, dude. And according to Rachel, the first night in Cancun is when she had sex with Tom again. And Schwartz and Rachel kissed on like the second night.
They did. Oh my God. Holy fucking shit.
So she was just trying to make him jealous. She was just totally trying to make Tom jealous.
Oh my God. And how much creepier now?
Yeah, dude.
How much when he's like Raquel?
Yeah, no, it had like a aggression to it.
I need a breath for that because because the first night they all went to that dinner. You're right.
I'm just going off of what she said. She said it was the first
Yes.
night in Cancun. And I was like, well, girl, the second night's when you kissed Schwartz.
Oh my God. Yeah. That first night was that like welcome dinner. The welcome dinner. Okay. Katie just straight up, it all hits so differently now
Yeah.
hearing the full words.
Yeah.
It hits real different. She's a cunt and you're a drunk. That's what happened. Okay.
Accurate.
I hear no lies. So, this was, LVP says, "How could you be in this situation with Schwartz after you'd slept with Sandoval?" Because I put a cap on this thing with Sandoval, and Schwartz was someone that I was curious to make out with since the beginning. Since the beginning of what? When he was married?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish Andy had pressed Rachel on how she spoke to Terry a bit more than
Yeah.
I wanted to see them light her on fire for that.
Yeah.
If someone spoke to my mother that way,
Yeah.
the restraint Katie had, and I just can't. Like no, I am not. I don't condone violence, but sometimes someone needs a little smack around.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we get, and this was a fair point eventually that we get from Katie too, but when Andy says to Rachel, I was surprised that hearing Katie's mom, Terry, describe the pain that both of them had surrounding the divorce didn't make you kind of reevaluate going after Schwartz. It did. I definitely closed the door on pursuing Schwartz. I mean, I did make out with him in Cancun.
Ugh.
Closed the door on Schwartz and opened it to my fucking boyfriend, you fucking
Ooh,
I gotta find a better word. Bunt cake, maybe. I don't know. What's a better word? And then it's like a back and forth about who instigated it, whatever. Well, it didn't matter. Like Katie said, you said you closed the door, so it should have been closed. Even if he instigated it, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's to the part where Andy's asking about the flirty relationship between Lala and James and how, did Rachel ever directly ask about it? Why? And it's still is weird that we're even talking about this. I'm still very confused. Why we're going that far back, aside from the fact, yes, we know that they had sex. We know it was when Lala was drinking. And the thing is here that Lala disclosed that information. If you listen to Lala's podcast, she disclosed that to Rachel because she was going back through her steps again because she had struggled with everything that happened with Rand. And y'all remember this way earlier in the season. She was talking to, was it Sheena? And they were getting their spray tans. And she said, I had to go back through my steps with my sponsor because I was struggling, wanted to pick up a drink again. And part of that was to apologize to Rachel. And so Rachel used that as she weaponized it. I don't care what Rachel thinks we're all going to believe here, but yeah. And she says, at the time, it made me feel uncomfortable because I felt like Lala didn't have any respect for me whatsoever. And I still don't. Okay. That's totally fine. You can say that, but up until this point, I hadn't done anything wrong. So your judgment on who I am is completely, a lot of people make mistakes. Seems pretty spot on.
Yep.
And then I think it was more so this moment that I was like, okay. It was more this than any other moment, actually. I'll give this one moment to Rachel that, because I make fun of her shaky voice, because she's always had it, so.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lala resented me because, sorry, my voice is shaky now, so I'm also going to breathe. Lala resented me because she loved the attention. Because see, I felt bad, and then she says this.
Yeah.
She loved the attention that James gave her, and since I stepped into the picture, that attention wasn't on her anymore.
Here's the funny thing. It actually still was on her, even when you guys were together. We watch a flashback of him checking Lala out while Raquel is in the shower next to him. So the attention never stopped being on Lala. What the fuck are you talking about?
There you go.
This is ludicrous, what you're saying. It's the same thing she did with Oliver. She thinks that everyone connects male attention to everything because she's always in a competition. The fact that this came out of her mouth,
it.
I mean, that's what you think. That's what your brain, that's where your brain goes. Her brain doesn't go there. Yours does.
Exactly. I am a former pageant girl, and I'm not competing with other women for anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're in competition with yourself. That's it. Period. So again, that's why I bring. It's not just the pageants; it's just Raquel. I just, my pageant coach, when I first met with her, she told my mom and I both. She said, "If you are here to win pageants, you should go home because there is only one person who wins. So there is no point. If that is what you are here to do,
That's
go
nice.
home."
Good advice.
And so yeah, because if you cannot be happy with making it to a certain point, with getting certain accolades, because then you're doing it for other reasons. And that is Rachel. She is one of those that was doing it for other reasons. She wanted to wear dresses and a pretty crown and everyone to tell her you're the prettiest princess in the world. And this was you need to get mentally evaluated. You are truly insane. But I am getting mentally evaluated. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just move on to where the beach day. James threw the drink in Schwartz's face about the Richella thing. I kind of just loved this sort of break in all of it because it cracked me up how Schwartz was like, I wasn't that mad about the drink in the face. It was just more so when he was like completely tearing apart my life after that. It's like, fair. You deserved it because you have thrown a drink or poured a drink on too many women's faces, heads. You deserved it. Karma's a bitch. But when Sandoval decides to jump in, it's like, again, where do you think you are, Sandoval? You are at your own roast, but it's not a comedy roast. It's a just flat out roast. That's all this reunion was. And Schwartz doesn't need you to stand up for him in this moment. You are doing him a disservice, okay?
Yeah, dude.
James he reverts or regresses a lot. Because Sandoval won't shut up, and he's shut up. I'm plugging my ears. Jesus, dude, you gotta grow the fuck up. He wanted to hear what Schwartz had to say about it, and still he wouldn't. James wouldn't shut up, and finally LVP's like, James, look, if you don't shut up, we're going to be here for 2 days. We probably would have watched it. And sat there for 2 days. So I thought it was cute. Allie was like fangirling over Sheena being the pizza girl on the Jonas Brothers show. I like Allie. I know a lot of people are she's just. I find her to be more genuine. A lot of people think she's not, but I'm like, no, I think does James piss her off? Yeah. Does James like her more than she likes him? Yeah, but I'm probably gonna get shit for this, but that's how it should be.
Yeah, no, it works for James.
Especially a man like James.
Yeah.
The man has to like you more than you like him. That's the way it has to be.
Look, she's got him to go to therapy, for crying out loud.
Yes. And then we touch on when they ran into when our beautiful little whistleblower saw Rachel and Sandoval at the Abbey. And this was the thing too. I guess they tried to make it, and I didn't catch on to this until obviously the reunion, that Sandoval and Rachel tried to spin it as though they were there at the Abbey with Allie and James.
Which I'm like, you're looking at James. Like, how are you seriously saying to James that you guys all went together when James is like, we didn't?
It was this whole back and forth over a table. We had a table. So, okay. So, I don't know if this is being condescending, explaining to some people that, having a table in not just LA, but anywhere that you're going to some sort of a club. To be honest, I never even registered that you could buy a table at the Abbey, but yeah, I guess now that I think about it, it's been a while since I've been there. So yeah, you probably could.
Yeah.
And James's father bought it. And this whole thing that was back and forth though was like they weren't dancing. Yeah, we don't. It's just some of this shit was just so like, why are these the semantics we're arguing about when it really needs to come down to? Of course, I wonder maybe Andy wasn't allowed to ask about the restraining order. But he asked Sheena.
That's what I don't get. I don't get. They must have cut a bunch, right?
They had a very short filming day. They were on set
that's
at
another
11,
thing. That's another thing. Yeah, it was pretty quick.
and they were off set going home at like 7.
Yeah.
That is short.
Yeah. No,
And
I
you
agree.
include, like,
for especially for a reunion.
A reunion and a reunion like this?
Mm-hmm.
You hear about like Beverly Hills, they were there until 11 p.m. Like, nah, come on, y'all. This is weird. I don't know if they thought that they were going to have more from the one-on-ones to cut it all together. It's just kind of bizarre. Because also you have to factor in they were 11 to 7. That's including a break for lunch. Anytime they say, yes, we're taking a real break, can you imagine trying to wrangle this group back together and get them all situated back on set with their hair placed where they want it to be? Then, like, Jesus, that would take forever. And, well, the Abby was the timelines are all jumbled up in my head now, and I'm almost confused. It's almost like I've been gaslit somehow myself by Sandoval and Rachel, and I'm like, oh, wait, so was it after the Abbey that they had sex? What? No, it was after guys' night, allegedly. I'm confused, and I'm tired of being confused. And then we touch on how Rachel told someone after Coachella that she had heard that they were in an open relationship and Tom was hitting on her, Sandoval, and that Rachel told this person, well, I told him I would rather hook up with Ariana than him. And they go back and forth about like, no, I know you never said that. No, I never said that. Is it the higher your voices get that we're supposed to believe you?
Yeah.
Real cute that when Andy asks about Katie about when Sandoval was yelling at her about taking accountability in her life and in her relationships.
She says he should just remove that word from his vocabulary. I agree. Should. He's sitting and he's like, I am taking accountability. I'm like, you're literally lying. Your whole basis for your story is that it's based on a lie. It's based on something you've made up in your head and convinced yourself of. It's not even real.
Accountability is 100%.
Yeah.
Go ask Teddy Mellencamp that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because apparently, listen, she won't let you stick to 25% of your diet. It's 100%. Otherwise, they charge you like $200 or something like that. Oh that was a whole other bag of worms, can of, jar, whatever. What's the saying? And the back and forth again about the no, I wasn't doing anything, but you fucked her. Yes, one time. Because now, like, looking at my notes here, I'm like, this was so much more of the same shit. It's really exhausting then when everyone's trying to get him to grasp the fact that everything changed with their friendship. It's not a friendship any fucking more.
It's not.
Yeah, okay, I have a friend that I'm not gonna name that we have like during single times in our life. Like, dude had sex and we still hang out and it's not a big deal.
Who? Kristen? Y'all don't hang out. Who?
Yeah.
Probably someone that you were still fucking when you were together with Ariana.
Yeah, who was that friend? I need to know, actually.
I do too.
Because I'm like, so you're still fucking that person, probably. Like,
oh, absolutely.
She's like your creepy, awful friend. Ariana probably knows who it is, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
And Okay, so Schwartz brings up, as we all remember, the Billy Lee thing. How people thought that I didn't hear that it was a threesome. I almost feel like Schwartz was softening it by saying
Yeah.
that. But that
Yeah, exactly. I
we'd
didn't hear
heard that it was just
threesome either. I thought it was just Tom
Yeah.
hooked up with Billy.
exactly. That's it right there.
Yeah.
And he said it was a rumor going around the valley. Sweetheart. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck does that mean? Rumors
I
don't
guess I
go
live in the
around
valley,
the
you can't
valley. Like that's not the thing.
Emily, you're in the valley. Surely you
I'm in
heard
the
it when you were
valley.
at Ralph's.
Yeah, I was like, what does that mean going around the valley? You mean going around your group? Like, what are you talking? It's so dumb that he said that, going around the valley. Rumors don't go around like that.
valley.
That's no. Stupid.
Surely, last time you were at Laurel Tavern, they were like,
Yeah, they were like,
Emily, did you
oh
hear?
my God. Billy and Tom. It's like, no, Schwartz,
hottest
be
goth.
quiet. Yeah, like, get out of here. Get out of here.
And so Ariana confirms for like the millionth time, no, they've never had a threesome in their relationship.
That's sad.
Um,
I feel so bad that she has to repeatedly say that.
It's like someone being bisexual does not mean that they want.
Yeah.
I can't. I I cannot understand it. If someone is heterosexual, why do you believe that they only want to be in a monogamous
Monogamous
because we can't-
relationship.
monogamous relationship? Because that word barely, like the cast themselves can't even say that word.
Yeah.
But why would a heterosexual person only want to be in a monogamous relationship and not a bisexual person just because they find more people in the world attractive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Real. Happy Pride Month.
Yeah.
There you go. So, okay. Rachel's been staying, as we know, with her parents. And Andy was like, so, were you thinking about skipping the reunion? And she's like, I was. Why? Andy, what do you think?
Yeah. Come on. It's like some of the questions that he asked her were very asinine.
And in general, okay, because I think part of what the problem was here, Andy was doing a thing that a lot of it happens to, I feel like influencers, it happens to, honestly, it's happened to me with podcasting. It happens where you start hearing the audience bitch at you about something, and then you overcorrect.
Overcorrect. Yeah.
And he's here. He knows how everyone's been a little pissy with him about reunions, how he's not hammering in on the right things, and so he's trying to hold everyone else accountable.
Yeah. I think that
No.
I think he like had to do that. Otherwise, that section of the audience that wanted blood from James and Lala because they also cheated, they would have been like, Andy didn't ask those questions. I feel like they knew to put it on there. So like, okay, I did. I asked the questions. All right. Now let's get back to the real issue here.
So they could have shown him asking the questions once or twice, not 20.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, and Rachel essentially says the same script. I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed that I'm even capable of keeping this secret from somebody who has been in my corner since the beginning. Ariana, I am so sorry for betraying you. I can't even fathom the pain that I've caused you. I have been completely selfish, and you're right. Selfish is not the right word because it doesn't even begin to describe the state of mind I have been in. It was a mistake. Stop calling it a mistake. Mistake happens one time. The way, and that's why they kept calling it a mistake. There you go, because Sandoval is
I'm
hammering
human.
in
I
the
make
one time.
mistakes. I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm sure he said that over and over again.
The way that we have betrayed the people closest to us was detrimental. I was surprised she knew. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I'm surprised she knew.
She practiced that one.
Sandoval told her.
Yep.
Schwartz helped.
Oh yeah.
He grabbed that. That was his Tuesday word. And I'm seeing like all of the consequences for my actions that I never even considered because I was living in the moment. Oh, Jesus. And
Living in the moment doesn't count either, because living in the moment also implies a moment one time. It's singular. Living in the
Thank
moment,
you.
that's like being at a party and loving it. I'm just in the moment right now. Or
yellow,
fine,
I'll take another shot.
living in the moment is a fun thing. It's a good thing. Everyone's like, just live in the moment. Just do it. Live in the moment, hun. You just got to live in That's not what you were doing. Okay?
No, you didn't say, fuck it, I'll buy the purse. You said, fuck it, I'll buy the lightning bolt necklace for living in the moment, okay?
And also that you did it like the fact that you guys kept this lie going for so long, that's not the equivalent of living in the moment. No. That is a very
that is
different
living in
thing.
the future.
That's,
yeah,
very
right.
different thing.
Why'd you do it? Because Tom and I had this connection. I felt seen and heard by him. And I loved that Ariana asked that. Thank you.
Yep.
Not by me. Didn't feel seen or heard by me.
I've been your fucking
I
best friend, god damn it.
I mean, I could not. No, actually, well, if I'm going to be completely honest.
When she
and
said,
when
if I'm going to be completely honest, I'm like, are you about to say that Ariana wasn't a good friend to you? Are you about to fucking say that?
Ariana went against Katie, who was her business partner. That's not I don't want to upset that relationship. You know, like that's a very particular type of relationship that you have to make sure everything that is not easy. Okay? Y'all, a business relationship, it is hard as shit, and especially when it involves a friendship, because there's a certain level of honesty that you have to be careful about. Like, no way. And she stood up to Katie so many times for you, to so many people, to Lala, okay, we know this, okay? I'm sorry. Because Ariana made a great point. Because I've fucking been there since James was being mean to you when you guys were together, and I was the only person who fucking saw or heard you then. Now, this is where I'm going to have to go ahead and mention there are some things going around about James. I'm just going to say right now there are some alleged things going around about James, and here's the thing. It was already insinuated without me having to bring this up, and it was insinuated when there is an issue with Rachel's nose. When she said James bumped her nose shortly after her surgery. I would like to not believe anything. That is an uncomfortable laugh that you're hearing. We have zero proof, but Kristen's been very her things against James have been very different compared to what she has been really hammering in about Tom for how many years. But also
Kristen alleged this?
It is going around, is what I will say. But with that being said, we saw Kristen closed hand punch James in the face one time after Sheena's wedding. So we're not gonna, things, and we also saw him spit on her door, but we didn't see him do anything to her when she did that, when she punched him in the face. I don't know many people that will let you punch them in the face and not do anything. So we're just going to say there was our dark turn.
So Kristen is alleging that he was abusive?
Without saying it.
Okay.
She keeps saying people are going to find out about James. People are going to find out about James. People are going to find out about James. Has he been emotionally abusive? Oh, fuck yeah.
There's no doubt.
It's different things. Yeah. I'm just hoping she's talking about something else. I hope she's talking about him being a cheater or something, and that maybe he has changed. Because I have been enjoying the switch in him being that number one guy in the group. It's been a fun shift. So I'm not going to totally ruin that shift for us, and I don't like just discussing rumors, but I also kind of feel like an obligation to at least acknowledge that, yes, he was
Yeah.
very verbally abusive.
Yeah. He just wants to like forget about it, but he needs to own up to it.
He does. Because he did look over at Lala like he wanted her to like,
Yeah. He's like, she
stand up
better
for him,
not
like-
fucking say that. Yeah.
and you know what? I'm glad Lala didn't say shit. And so it comes down to like Rachel was saying that she felt more comfortable confiding in Tom than Ariana. And so here's that whole line of, as a friend, my whole I'm gonna cry. Because I've been a people pleaser my whole life, and I dropped that mentality and I started only pleasing myself, and this was something that I was curious to see.
I hate when she says curious. I hate it.
Thank you. Why
So
that
fucking
word is
rude.
triggering me.
Like, stop saying curious. That's not the right word to use, please. Because curiosity is something kind of cute and innocent.
A cat being curious is cute.
Yeah.
You? No. I just, yeah, curious. It's her script, man. Curious, people pleaser, pleasing myself. It is just one time. All
Those are
of
the
it.
like approved words.
So my dog had just died. I cried in your fucking arms, and you thought I should go and fuck her boyfriend. You are lower than the fucking lowest of low people. I know. Now, I wish I were the type of human that could come up with something this fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know what else to call it because Ariana. Oh, you're a fucking psychopath. You are terrifying to me as a person. The fact that you are capable of this shit, unfucking believable. You're a Dementor. I know you like Harry Potter. You're
that
a
part.
fucking Dementor. I hope Charlotte fucking haunts you the rest of your life. And see, the visual I got was, you know, the thing that dogs do, that licking sound when they're licking their own asshole or their own like junk. And it's that sound that you're like, can you not? I just now imagine sweet Charlotte making the licking her junk sound anytime Rachel and Tom are about to bang.
Yeah.
It's all they can hear. Oh my God, do you hear that? I'm not making the sound in the microphone because this is not that type of podcast. Why didn't you stop? It was almost impossible to turn away from. You were in love? Chirp, chirp, chirp. Crickets? Yeah. And then, yeah, you're a moldy piece of fruit. Andy, you're still in love. Rachel nods. Tom, are you in love? When I tell you, like, in that bar I was watching in, everyone was going, you could hear, like, the rise in everyone's pulses going up.
I think he was like, wait, I kind of don't, like, I don't want to say yes because then I'm, like, committed to this chick. But if I say no, she may turn on me. Because I don't think Tom has any interest in fucking being with Raquel in a real way.
No.
He was
No.
in such a tough spot. He was like, I gotta say yes, I think. I have to because she's holding all the cards right now. She could totally turn.
Because, motherfucker, you better say yes. You're going to blow up your life for
Yeah.
a Bambi-eyed vagina. No? No.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Grody. Like, yeah. It's just I have, like, as I'm going through it, I have all the notes, I have all the lines. But it's just there are so many moments that were more of the same, except that I loved that Lala this just she did say to Ariana, you know, you're going to look back on this and be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that they did this for me. Not only did they get me out of what was a torture chamber, because I can't even imagine being with you, Sandoval, like put a bullet in my brain.
Facts.
Same, babe. I'm going to have to watch you try on how many more pairs of sequin pants. They come in how many colors?
Yeah.
Listen, And then more of the to Rachel from Ariana. You are nothing. You are nothing. Let that sink in. I know it's not hard for you to let other people's thoughts go into your head because you have never had a fucking original thought of your own. You are nothing. Whoa.
The way she says things, it's like it's so matter of fact, and like her boundaries are so clear and healthy.
Yes.
And she's so like, I need the number to her therapist because I feel like her therapist is crushing. Because even I was like, oh my God, she's nothing, guys. Just listen to Ariana. Like Andy was listening to Ariana. Andy was like, whatever. She's calling the shots here. Like Andy, when she said, no, he's not moving over. Andy went, okay, no problem. We're not going to do it. Like she's shut him down a few times too. Like when he was trying to go for James for something, she's like, I think it's warranted. I think today's different circumstances. And Andy was like, all right, I shall drop whatever I was saying. Like she's just controlling and dominating the whole room.
And you know what? Part of that is because it's because she picks the right moments.
Yes.
She never overexhausts any power she has. Yes. That's why I think sometimes when it's like James, yes, is he warranted in his emotions and stuff like that? He loses his power by jumping in at the wrong moment. Yeah. She knows what moment to jump in.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just, I don't think, there aren't many people like that. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not, I wish I were like that. I would join Ariana's cult. I think America has.
Yeah. She would lead us to a good place, as where Tom is going to just lead us to like his sex dungeon.
Right? Now, I do worry. Ariana is on the precipice of having people turn on her if she takes maybe
one more sponsor.
Now, Duracell, brilliant. Loved it.
That was worth it. That was like,
yes.
Finally. Because she pissed people off with the banking one, whatever that thing was, because
SoFi.
We didn't get it. Like, we were like, so wait, so you didn't move? Like, I get that it was just for hype, and I get that SoFi was the one who came up with that. Like, they told her exactly what they wanted from her content and paid her a lot of money to do it. But I think that she's trying to get all the money she can because she's trying to get out of that house, right? She's trying to figure out how she can sell it. And I don't know how she's gonna have to buy Tom out or something. I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
She surely can buy him out now.
Yeah,
I think she's made
like I think she's made like $3 million. I swear. Like if I do the math, yeah, good. Best thing
I don't even want
to
to talk about how much it cost me just to get my ex to pay me a certain amount each month.
Yeah. So she's doing it right.
Yeah. Let me just say, it's going to take a little over a year.
I know that Bounty is going to get her next sponsorship because the paper towels and the batteries.
Totally.
Yeah. That just reminded me that I need to get toilet paper. See, look, we're all because I have to get it for the new place.
Yes, absolutely.
List.
Notes. Write the note.
Right, I am.
Yeah.
That's like, I will forget that, and that's not something you want to forget.
No. What was it? It was always like toilet paper and your first meal. First dinner and your first
meal.
breakfast.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's like you feel like you're in a hotel still. You're like, I don't know where I am. I'm like in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
That's it. It does feel like that.
Yeah.
And then when you're like, oh shit, how am I gonna like entertain myself? Like I remember when we still had a DVD player, we had to use we were watching old SAG screeners we got on the
Those are desperate
PlayStation.
times, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I do.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
The apps weren't happening quite as well back then. Gotta love how Tom and Rachel are like, oh yeah, you don't deserve what you got. Because
don't say that. Like, keep your mouth shut. Keep it shut. You understand me?
What they should have done was exactly that. Let Ariana cry, have her moment, give her that.
Yeah.
Because I cannot think of two worse people. I just can't. And that, I feel like Tom Sandoval's agent and manager were probably thrilled that he finally found his tear ducts somewhere inside of his body, because he starts tearing up for real now. Something I remember, I took my mom with me to the watch party. It was great fun. Mom went out with the Bravo girlies, the Bravo girlies and guys. And
gays.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, that
Although
watch party.
a lot of straight men have been getting into it, so respect.
Respect. Exactly. And get into it without blaming it on a girlfriend or a wife. Just say into it.
Yeah, just admit it.
But
It's great TV.
Yes, but also let the girls and the gays have their thing. Okay.
Don't even get me started.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know. I feel like I know exactly. I feel like we're both talking about the same thing.
We're talking about the exact same thing.
Yep.
There's room for everyone.
Yeah, but
there's a lot more room for you in a lot of other places.
Yeah. So
than there is for us.
We'll talk offline. I got lots to say. I know what we're talking about.
I see, and this I'm not. This part I'm not. Okay. My friend Jessie, Reality Witch, I keep telling her, I'm like, you and Emily would hit it off, because I do. Listen, okay, yeah.
We know what we're talking about.
We know. Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes all it takes is to be a straight white male to succeed in life.
You don't have to be funny or anything.
No, it
can be kind of boring, monotone, actually.
You can think you are the Bravo. Oh, I'm gonna.
Yep.
So, we're both just gonna.
We'll do this later. We'll do this later. Yeah.
So Lisa is just now discovering that Tom dressed up as Rachel for Halloween. Where have you been?
This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the issue. It's like, so you can't, so you're going to correct Lala when she says this, yet you don't even know all the information. So save it.
Thank you. It's like, I keep worrying I'm going to be offensive in saying something like this, but it's like, fuck it, because she pissed me off enough. It's like when your grandparents think they understand what, for example, like what we do. That trying to explain to your
Yeah, that's kind of that.
They're like, well, why are you on your phone all the time? Because it's my job. And then when you go, look what I've done. Oh, well, what you should be doing more.
Yeah, always. Or they give you like weird advice. They're like, you could also start, like I've had people go, you could start doing that ASMR. I'm like,
oh my God, kill me.
What? No, just because they were excited, I know how to use like microphone and recording equipment. And they're like, I'm pretty sure that's how other people do that. I'm like, thank you very much. I'm not looking for content ideas.
What the fuck?
It's happened to me so many times. I get that advice I'm putting in quotes all the time.
Oh my God. Can you imagine a Bravo version of ASMR? No one do it, please. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm begging you not to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I skipped over how James told Raquel to shut her fucking mouth about Allie being a replacement. Because the only reason I'm mentioning that is because it's mentioned later on. It was just so fucked that he actually thought he would get away with dressing as the video of the video from BravoCon of him mimicking her side by side. That was uncomfortable.
Yep.
Okay. So then it's brought up about how Tom had his two girlfriends in the front row of his show at BravoCon, and then the lightning bolt necklace. And I forgot to go back and check on this. See, this is what happens when I'm tired and doing some of my notes at night. Rachel is suddenly wearing a star all the time now. She had on the star necklace, and I thought I saw Tom with something with a star, but I can't remember now. And now I'm gonna lose my shit because I should have. Because do you notice, like, Rachel, it's a heart. Her sweater's a heart with a yin yang. Then it's a star. I don't see anyone else on that cast wearing like symbols of things to this extent aside from Tom. And so I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I don't trust anyone in that duo wears. All right? Period.
Yeah.
And yeah, so does the lightning bolt necklace mean what we thought? Yeah, it was significant to who he became in my life, and I know that's not what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, actually, we do want you to just go ahead and confirm it because we knew.
Yeah.
This cracked me up so much when Lisa was like, "What were you thinking? It's like you were you were in your mind in some pageant where you were acting a part, competing with other women. And she ain't going to win this pageant either, Lisa. She didn't win those." Like,
So good.
I mean, good. I'm gonna just put it this way: to USA system, they narrow it down from however many, depending on the state, to top 15, and then they immediately go to top 5. Now, yes, you lose 10 competitors. She's never even made top 5.
I love this shade.
Yeah, it's so stupid. I know. Now, listen, when I made top 5, I was last place in that top 5. I was 4th runner-up. But I was 18 and lost to a 15-year-old because it was the teen competition. What the hell? You know, like, I was an adult.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
right?
weird, right? And that's why the aging out still. I've already explained that, but it's weird. So it's just, ugh. And when Rachel says, I know, I was cringing so hard. Why do you use the word cringing?
Yeah. Cringing is not the word. Girl.
I mean, Schwartz needs to
Cringing
loan
is
her
not
that
the
calendar.
word.
She,
Tom wouldn't approve.
no.
He controls the books she reads, the shows she watches. Like he is got
Well, he like you have been the originator of this theory, the cult leader.
Dude.
And I think it was after the episode you were on here that I was watching a rerun and I sent you.
Yep.
I took a picture of the TV. The two Toms are shopping. I don't know, like I think they were over off of Santa Monica Boulevard near that H&M. I don't even know if it's still there. Actually, it's near the Oppenheim office is where I'm thinking of. And they were shopping and the camera zooms in on a sweatshirt that says cult leader on it. I was like, Emily,
Buy it, Tom.
probably
His band is going to be how he spreads the word.
Oh my God. I can't with those videos. It scares me that
I agree.
Why would anyone want to touch him?
And that's the thing is there's sick people that are now turned on by all this.
Oh my God. It's like those women who write to serial killers in prison.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to have to get to this moment. Okay. Where they call out Sandoval for hooking up. Did he hook up with anyone else while he was with Ariana after he hooked up with Rachel? And Rachel's face during all of this was like, what? That never occurred to me.
Yeah.
You could tell. And he says no. And Ariana says, what about that girl in Chicago? At the same time, Lala's like, what about that girl after the bar you played on Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Where you guys are like, where are you getting your information?
And Ariana says, well, no. You know who he did sleep with after him and Raquel started sleeping together was me. Okay, friends. Jesus, H, Mary, and Joseph. Okay, this next thing. Any man who has a problem with getting sex while a t-shirt is on, any man in general, I do not, he's happy to be a part of the experience. He doesn't give a shit if you have a t-shirt on. In fact, some men think that's even greater. Mm-hmm. They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept her t-shirt on. It was really hot.
And the look on Andy's face was
so bad. Because to the woman you've wronged so much, you want her to feel like it's her fault. You think it's her fault. You really do. Like, he thinks it's Ariana's fault. Ariana wasn't giving him sex the way he needed it, so what else was he going to do?
I am I listen, I wouldn't have to be a woman who's given birth. I am, but it doesn't matter if you've given birth. Listen, there women collectively are like cats. Don't touch our stomach. Don't look at our stomach. I don't unless I ask you to.
Yeah.
Before I had a baby, when I thought I wasn't as skinny as I was, but I was fucking skinny and I should have appreciated it.
I should have appreciated how skinny I was too.
Like the first time we said to ourselves, "I'm fat," I would love to be that skinny again.
Me too. That the times I thought I was so fat, I would kill for that weight.
God. It just because I know as a female, that's my first thought is, oh, my stomach. First of all, Ariana's abs. She's always had insane abs.
Yeah, totally.
But any human being, even oh God, I don't want to talk about my ex, but he even like competed in bodybuilding, like had in ridiculous abs. You have skin if you sit down, if you're doing stuff, especially women do. So, I mean, even the look on James's face was like,
It
dude,
was stunning how bad it was. It was so mean. It was so cruel. It was so sickening. It was like, so basically, if you're not satisfied sexually, it's going to be their fault when you go and cheat on them and lie to them for months.
and wearing a t-shirt was the biggest crime.
Yeah, it was real hot. Wow.
I yeah, it just it just gets worse. And we all had been hearing, oh, Tom's going to say something that everyone in America is going to hate him for. Lala said it, Andy said it. And I remember my friend Jesse and I, when we were watching it, looked at each other and we went, yep, that was it. That was the
it.
thing.
Yep.
No question. We didn't have to wait for it anymore. We knew that was it.
So fucking terrible.
I'm blanching still because it is just knowing her body image issues, her issues around intimacy. When I was watching that psychologist talk about it, it was because it's those narcissistic traits. And I have dated that man. I have been in very serious relationships with that man. That is the narcissist, that he had been so embarrassed and couldn't believe that so many people were calling him out on being a piece of shit that he had to go as low as he could. As low as he could. And what does he do? When Schwartz hangs his head, who does Sandoval apologize to?
Yep.
Schwartz.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, rubs his back. So terrible.
I'm sorry, because the way I'm like picturing, if I saw my ex that had just, I mean, I can picture the exact one of his friends that would have been doing that and sitting there. Like, I can picture it all. And if I had to then watch him apologize to him, I'm surprised we didn't see Ariana or anyone jump on him about that. But
Bad. It was so bad. It was so terrible.
this should have been that moment that, when if you hang around Christians, when they say, "I'm ready for Jesus to come," that was the moment. And yeah, it was a great point that Lala and Ariana both are saying, Rachel, this is your future. He's going to cheat on you. He's going to do this to you. He's going to speak to you that way. Okay? And you know what? We did touch on Rachel thinking that, like basically it's like her dead name. Calling her Rachel, it's not. It is not the same thing. And she tries to again explain, well, it's because my family calls me Rachel and my friends call me Raquel. And Ariana said, well, you don't have any more of those, so Rachel it is. Again, Lala explains that. We touched on that. And yeah, Rachel did meet Tom's family at events or whatever. And so we get to the point where Andy's asking, so how, we saw that preview. How did this go from a one-night stand to a full-blown relationship between the two of you?
Emotion just got the best of me.
And so when did it become a relationship?
Maybe shifty eyes squeak, squeak, squeak. Maybe January or something.
Oh, January.
I know, right?
And this confirms even more that Schwartz is not the, I don't know, Merriam-Webster he thinks he is. Because he says, that's when you came to me and told me, when you said you were in the LOV word, the LOVE word.
It's like he
Schwartz
meant to
showed
say
him
the
it.
L word, and then he's like, I fucked it up. Let me try it again. I'm going to spell the whole thing out. Like,
Honestly, I had to make fun of him because it's
Yeah.
like the way he just is like dying to constantly just, be the scholar he is not.
he's not.
And yeah, it's the same questions of like, well, where do you think this is going to be in a year? I don't know. It's too soon to say. And then James, for this moment, I wish he had said this later on. or
Yeah, I
something.
agree. This was this one didn't hit for me.
The poo-poo head. You both poo-poo heads. I thought he was going to say this way earlier in the
Yeah,
reunion.
me too.
This was not the moment that I wanted.
Yeah, I agreed. I was like, they can't all be winners, James.
Yeah. No, they can't. You're right. And when Sandoval's just kind of like,
I think we were both in very, very vulnerable situations.
were you Sandoval? I
How are
think
you? What vulnerable situation were you in?
no. If anyone was in a vulnerable situation, it's Rachel. Okay, we have to admit
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
she was vulnerable to some twat like you.
Yeah,
And I think it's best we take some time to reflect.
And well, LVP's like, well, that must be difficult for Raquel to hear where you're saying, it's hard to know whether or not the feelings are real or not. And, she's just said, you're in love. Oh, God. Yeah, they did script it, okay?
they did. They scripted it, and I think that Raquel was like, "No, he's talking about the beginning," and I'm like, "Actually, I really
Yeah.
think he was talking about right now.
Right now.
I think he meant
She-
right now, girl."
She got it confused the same way she got what Lala was saying to her confused.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it came to, like, the mistress and the homewrecker comment.
Like
I
the
was
question was, "Where do you see this going?" And he answered, "I think we take a beat and gather ourselves." She's like, "No, it's okay. He's talking about before," and he's like, "Yeah, okay. I'm talking about before. Sure."
That's not what we rehearsed, but okay.
He's like, she's getting confused in the sides I gave her ahead of time. She's confused. It's a different page. It's a different scene.
Rachel,
We're not improvising now, okay? I told you don't improv, all right? You're not,
Stay
you're not
on
good at it.
script. Yes.
So then, Rachel says, again, with the curious. No, he's, like you said, referring to that first time it happened, and we were just trying to figure out. They planned this ahead of time. I'm just filling you guys in if you're curious.
Yeah, bitch.
Curious is not the word, duh. I'm not a wordsmith, okay? I'm not. But Jesus, take this wheel away from her because she just, if you guys want to know the facts, if you guys want to question things, if you guys want to understand, if you want to know the frame of mind, there, any other word almost. And then I hear my child is awake, being loud and
Yay.
crazy. So I'm gonna start moving us along. I know this is it's the last part, friends, but toddlers are gonna toddle, and they're gonna say, "You had plans? Fuck you,
That's
mom."
cute.
So cute of you, mom. And finally, Lisa's just asking Schwartz, like, why? What did you think? What was your position on all of this? Did you understand the magnitude of the situation? Because he's been quiet as hell.
Yeah, I said it was going to be nuclear. You got to tell Ariana. And
I mean, dude, it's just so stupid at this point. But to even like expect us to believe that you were really pushing him that hard. I believe that he said something at some point. Yes, I do. But no, I don't think you were pushing too hard at all. And then, God bless her, Sheena in her trailer is like, where's my apology? After Rachel literally just gives her, I'm sorry to Ariana. I'm really sorry to the people I've hurt in this process. Where's my apology? Yeah, okay. And yes, you did prove Lala right with her accusations, and she's living for it. This was weird to me. When Lala said about Ariana, when a person I love dearly is out and away from a very toxic human, people see you for who you are. She was saying, like, I'm living for it because of that. And Rachel says, I'm happy that she's out too.
That pissed me the fuck off. Pissed me the
Oh, so now you care?
off.
You care? Cute.
So not okay.
Okay, sure. And then this, and Sandoval goes, dude, you don't love Ariana dearly. I do love Ariana dearly enough that I ate her cookie in the back of your car, and I'd do it again. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Lala.
Yeah.
And again, it's Rachel went, oh no, I forgot a line in my script. I'm treating, it had no place there, okay? I'm treating this as a learning process. I want to be a better friend to the people that are in my life, and I now realize how much my actions affect other people.
Thank you. You're just now realizing how your actions affect other people. Like, girl.
Oh, you don't say.
God, it's like something basic we learned a long time ago.
Yeah, like you steal someone's toys, they might get mad. That's
Duh.
kind of the way it typically goes.
Yeah.
And then we finally take the break, and Ariana's like, Rachel's leaving. Go give her little kisses. She loves those rat kisses. Okay, Ariana, we get it's funny, but any moments I felt any type of anything for Rachel during this entire process, whoosh, gone, because of this. She calls Sandoval into the holding area that she's changing. And she looks at him and goes, oh, you have stuff on your face. Let me, oh. As if, like, are you trying to be his mother, his girlfriend? The last person who did something like that to me was my mother. It was when I was a freshman in high school. I had just come back from an orthodontist appointment, and it was in the office that the seniors worked in. She kissed my cheek and goes, oh, sorry, Toots. Yeah, she called me that. Thank you very much. Got lipstick on your cheek. Licks her thumb. Here you go, sweet pea. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was more like, oh, sorry, Toots. Let me get that. I got lipstick on your cheek. Here you go, sweet pea. Is that what you're going for, Rachel? Just curious. And the floor could have opened up and it swallowed me whole. In front of the seniors, Mom? Good. How dare they know I have a mother? So they're kind of talking about how, like, oh, that was brutal. And he's like, yeah, you did really good. Way better than me. You handled it a lot better than I did. It's hard to admit to everything. And when everything, is laid out in front of you, like everything that we've done and how we've hurt so many people, it's like really hard to like accept that and like seeing the person who I've become. And this isn't who I want to be. I don't want to be that person that hurts other people. And Sandoval says back to her,
Yeah.
I know. That really sucks.
So I'm like, that's your response? He's like, I wasn't really listening. What did you say?
she didn't get a parking ticket. Sandoval.
He's like, yeah, I know that really sucks. I wasn't listening. I don't know what you actually just said. So you seem upset. So I'm gonna go with, I know that really sucks. But then he goes right into being pissed about everyone else. How they're all, he's like, I'm actually just here to complain about everyone else. So I don't care about your feelings.
There you go. That's it. Right there.
Yeah.
And they start laughing. They start laughing that James called Allie an upgrade from her. And it's like, yeah, well, yes, she is, but it wasn't just at this point, Rachel. Oh God.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that they're laughing. What
Yeah.
the fuck, y'all?
Yeah. It was not okay.
No. Okay. Then we get to the part where Lisa, as I touched on earlier, was coaching Sandoval in the back. You've got to show some emotion. Maybe if you took your moment. Here's your moment before. All my actors out there. And said, I'm truly sorry. I still love all of you.
Yeah.
And that's
feeding
where
him what
Sandoval's
to
like,
say.
Okay,
He's like,
yeah.
he's like, I can pull that off.
I think I can access that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Let me stub my toe really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Rip out a nose hair. And
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. And it's
Totally.
It's not like I'm a serial killer.
Oh, when he said that. Like, okay, so no one wants to be like, I'm not as bad as a serial killer, because that's just not an equivalence you make. Like, what? No. I had a friend whose boyfriend was always like, at least I'm not digging ditches at the side of the road. I'm like, well,
Oh,
she wouldn't
Jesus.
even date that person. So just because he didn't want to get in trouble for anything, So it's a
digging
tactic.
ditches.
Yeah, I'm like, why would she talk to a guy digging ditches? No, she wants you to be better, asshole.
Like, she works at Morgan Stanley, bro. She doesn't need
Yeah.
you to be digging ditches for her.
Yeah. I'm not a serial killer. Well, actually, that's debatable.
Yeah. We don't know everything yet, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So, then it's his monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He pulled that nose hair out and he got it going.
I understand what I did was very, very fucked up, but understand that I'm a human. I make mistakes. I made a fucking terrible mistake. I hurt somebody I never loved ever more in my entire life.
Wait,
Wait,
you
what?
loved Ariana more than you did Rachel?
Yep. Oops.
Got it.
There's
He's like,
a mistake.
he started that. He was like, wait, I should take that back. Damn it, can't, too late. I'm already in the process of saying it. Yeah.
Oopsie. Because he suddenly remembered Rachel can see from her trailer what he's
Yep.
saying. Because he definitely didn't know that in the beginning. He did not know that she was watching. He kept trying to sell the narrative he decided he was going to sell to her and then blame whatever was said later when it aired on editing. That was very clearly what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. And then this, Emily, when I tell you, I have had like almost verbatim the same words said to me after someone treated me a certain way and I finally said I'm done. It is almost hysterical how men are so unoriginal. This shit triggered me.
Ariana, I know that you hate me, and it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm the victim. I understand, but I want you to know that I will always love you, and I will always be cheering you on from afar. Always.
Oh, okay. We actually know that not to be true, but okay.
Right. You know, I mean, the way you know he is so fucking mad at all these opportunities. She gets to play a cop in a Lifetime movie,
He is
helping
so
a
mad.
young girl in human trafficking.
Oh, that's what it is? That's amazing.
He's furious. And Ariana basically says she's grateful for every single person in that room except for the Toms and Rachel. And she won't forgive him. And she will not be cheering him on from afar. And Lisa, Jesus, really? So Lisa's
She
like,
always has to do this speech. It's like, save
I
it.
know. Like, you know who it should have been left off with was Ariana and Andy. That's it. Period. Looking forward now, it's maybe too much to process, but I hope some of us maybe can find some kind of forgiveness or compassion. And I love, because Andy looked at her the way, like we were speaking on earlier, like you look at your grandparents and you're like, not the time, Nana.
Yeah. Save it.
You're not grasping. We're beyond a boomer Gen Z thing, okay? Just,
Yeah.
we're going to take a beat.
Yeah, exactly.
James singing, "These are the best days of our life." It was a little eerie.
Yeah, a little haunting.
guess it's like, where is it happening from here? So they do 6 days after the reunion. Rachel in her blue, the Monica Lewinsky dress was blue dress. Just saying, there's some parallels. This producer, and it really speaks to what you were saying, how they really try to aim to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Because, see, this is why I could not do reality TV. A producer would make me feel comfortable in a confessional if they gave me literally just 1 or 2 glasses of wine. I'd be like, I'm talking to my best friend. Oh my God.
Yeah,
you want
totally.
the best for me. You're
Yeah.
totally not going to use this.
Yep.
I would tell them the worst thing I had done in first grade. Even I would not. There would be no control. So the producer's like, you okay? You seem like you're in a lot of pain. And I didn't really see that from her in that moment. Did you? Not yet. Me?
No.
Not yet. So why? Well, I think it's important for me to tell the truth. I think that I've been lying and being so deceitful this entire time that I don't want to lie anymore, and it's all out there anyway. Like, the worst is out, yet I'm still finding myself having to lie about specific timeline things.
Yeah.
Right. Get all the flashbacks.
One time.
This is also, like, the way Alex Baskin hyped this up, as if we all did not already know. Obviously, it was not more than one time.
Like Alex Baskin needed to maybe follow some Bravo content creators, because this has been posted a million times. Like, we know.
I mean, yes. It's one thing for the cast not to, but if you are working as an exec producer on a show and you are not looking at least, I mean, I'm not going to say who he should not be following, but I'm going to say if you're not following at least a few. See, this is why sometimes I almost get too candid. I have to go, Caitlin, don't call people out. They didn't call you out. Anywho, so, okay, I mean, you did maintain some untruths, some lies at the reunion, right? Like, why'd you do that? Obviously, this was the thing where she actually believed this. She says that, in referring to Sandoval, he feels like it would be less hurtful to say that, that wasn't going on for so long. No. He thinks he will look less terrible.
Exactly.
Rachel.
Yeah. She still doesn't get it.
Listen, I can be gullible. I really can. But my God. By what point was it a regular thing? Like, while we were still filming? Yes, we already knew this. The second time was actually in Mexico. Like you said, here, word for word. I was like, we can't see each other. This isn't going to be a thing. But then, like, that first night in Cancun.
Dude, this story.
So he was very
Wasted.
drunk.
Like, blackout drunk. Couldn't even find an elevator.
And you
she's
thought it was
like,
okay to
"Come
have
in
sex?
here." Of course she did. She's like, this is probably the only way I can make sure I get laid by him, because he's wasted.
That's the thing. Was he able to consent fully? Apparently he eventually was, because did you guys have sex multiple times in Mexico? Yep. So it was a regular ongoing thing between you two. Like, as of Mexico. Yeah, I mean, it sped up more after filming wrapped. Okay. She met his mom in LA. This. You didn't go to St. Louis with him?
Not that I recall. Bitch.
That you recall? Y'all took a picture in front of a landmark.
Yeah, why you forgot about that?
You couldn't have just taken a picture in front of a random house even? You did it in front of a landmark. Mm-hmm. If I'm trying to convince people I didn't go to LA with someone, I'm not going to go take a picture in front of the Getty Museum. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I just was like, how fucking stupid are both of you? How... This is when you can say, no, you two are fucking morons.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he calls her out. He's like, no, your body is telling me you know you're lying to me. Yeah, I have a terrible poker face. Oh my God. And then this. So you might as well just say it. It freaking happened. Yeah, I definitely feel really guilty. I mean, a huge part of me wanted to tell her. Like, it ate me alive not to tell her. I mean, I even suggested, I was like, maybe, like, what would Ariana think about, like, having me as an addition? And he was like, no, 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 no. She would not be into that. A throuple? Yeah, because like I love Ariana as a person, and then also I'm in love with Tom Sandoval. So yeah, it didn't seem like that far fetched of an idea, but it was just not something in question. God, he's gonna kill me. I just hate lying so much. I hate it. So she claims they didn't hook up that night in the jacuzzi, but I really, she's
Girl.
smiling like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
Yes.
it makes sense that this is the biggest one they had to lie about. 'Cause it's like, yeah, you guys fucked when she was at a funeral.
Huh?
By the way, Tom should have been there. Tom, if like you're a part of someone's family, like why is Tom not going with her to support her?
They don't have children there. They could have had someone look after the animals. 1,000%. If my partner did not go with me, I this when I said this is the only other moment that I was like, oh shit. She has fallen into narcissistic abuse trap, and this is sad. This is sad because you are a lost little girl who was there's the lost little girl inside of you, but it's the adult woman that is the piece of shit, okay? And how he asked her not to disclose that information because she felt like Tom is her one person she does have, and if she betrayed him, she has nobody.
When she said the word isolated, I was like, oh, cult leader. That's like a cult tactic. They isolate you from your family, your loved ones. They control the information you get. Yeah.
It's what abusive people do too.
It's textbook.
They cut you off from all
They
your
cut you off.
friends.
So that they're the
Everyone
only
of your
one you
friends
have
is a
left.
whore and asshole.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't like you hanging out with her. She gets too drunk. She's a whore. You act like a different person around her.
Yep. All that. All of it.
Okay. And then we get to it. Because the thing that, again, she pulled me right back out was when producers like, just rip the Band-Aid off. What's one more detail at this point, right? And it's when she says, we've like, it's the one story that we've agreed on getting straight. And I know that's the reason why Tom wanted to lie about it is because it's a really bad look, not a bad thing. It's a really bad look to hook up with someone's boyfriend in their own house when they've gone out of town, especially for like a funeral of all things. So like, I don't know. This has fucking killed my soul. That you should have said from the beginning.
Yeah.
So sick of lying. I mean, Rachel, we're about to wrap up. Here's the thing. I am hearing, I'm sure you heard it, that supposedly she's leaving treatment soon and she intends to kind of do a tell-all on Sandoval somehow, some way. And they're supposed to start filming again in a few weeks.
So if Raquel does a tell-all and then goes back to filming, like she's going to have no one. But I think she's thinking, okay, if I go against Sandoval, then it'll put me back in good graces with other people.
No, I don't
Ariana's
think it
not forgiving you anytime soon.
Doesn't sound like Sheena is either.
Yeah, because Sheena's going to follow Ariana's lead for sure. It's like until you tell me we're okay with them, we're not. Like absolutely
That's the way
not.
to do it.
Yep.
That's the way to do it. I don't know where they go from here.
Agreed.
I've said it a million times, and Vanderpump Village is going to be a thing, and it's kind of like,
So
yeah.
it's greenlit. Like it's definitely happening with like Jax and Brittany and them.
not with them necessarily that it has been disclosed. This is going to be on Hulu.
Vanderpump Valley,
Vanderpump Village.
Vanderpump Village, and what? And what,
Villa.
what
I'm
it-
sorry, Vanderpump Villa.
What is it?
It's going to be the people that are guests at Vanderpump Villa and the people who work there and have to accommodate their wild needs.
What?
Below deck, but
That's basically what she tried to do with, what was it, Overserved or whatever that was called. And it was such a terrible concept. It was like, we're going to overserve them. Don't tell. I'm like, what are you talking about? Society has evolved from getting people too drunk and making them look like idiots. So that's already, your premise is ridiculous. But that's exactly what she did. She just threw parties. That's what it is.
yeah.
Dumb, real dumb.
I think we're all fatigued.
I don't need her throwing parties at Villa Rosa, but that's what she thinks everyone likes about her. That's all she wants people to see is her like mothering and her hosting. But Lisa, what made you interesting was when some shit got dirty.
Yes.
That's the only
seeing
thing that's
reality.
interesting. Yeah, but she doesn't understand that.
No, she doesn't know how to be completely real
No,
for the
not at all.
for the cameras. No.
Yeah,
She's always going to play to it.
totally.
Emily, I have held you hostage long enough. Thank you so much
Oh my
for
God, my
coming on
pledge.
here and doing part 3 with me. Of course, I'm going to have you back on, and it will be hopefully like, less overly detailed. Is that the way I want to word that? But either way, it is always so much
I'm
fun.
gonna have you over on mine though. Like now, let's do
Love
like
to.
an Orange County.
Would
recap.
love to.
Yeah, for sure.
Orange County is hysterical. Shannon
Yeah.
cracks my shit
I'm
up.
so glad I finally came around on Shannon. I like really
took a minute.
I had hatred for Shannon, but now I'm like, all right, I get it.
I thought she was crazy. And once it's like, it became more kooky than crazy, that's when it was fun.
Yeah. Well, also
I
too,
do
like
agree.
last season, they like Shannon looked the best, and I only watched the first like 5 episodes, and I was like, Shannon is the only likable one on this cast right now. And that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
Yep. I think OC is going to be I wanted to quote Teresa, but I'm just going to say a breath of fresh air for real, because also New Jersey, we need a breather from as well.
I fucking hate Jersey right now. I like disdain for it.
It's too much.
It's too much,
Guys, it's too much. Go find Emily on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of the social media channels. It's at She Speaks Bravo, and you can find at She Speaks Bravo anywhere you listen to podcasts. But it's also She Speaks It All too. So
Yeah,
that's how
second
you can find her on
pod.
social media. I mean, busy girl, booked it, busy and blessed, honey.
Doing it to myself.
I
I'm
know the
booking
feeling.
myself in busy.
Hey, but it's good.
Someone's gotta
it
do
means
it.
You're good. You're
Thank
doing
you.
something right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And friends, I will see you next week. Okay. Bye.
Bye.